Hello and welcome back to Adventure's Edge.
Hello.
Once again, my name is Don.
And I'm Rochelle.
And we are continuing on with the further adventures of Jeannie Applebottom.
Yes, we are. And you know what? I mean, I'm enjoying this a lot, but I still have this, I'm going to say rational fear. It's not an irrational fear, a rational fear of this solo adventure, because the truth is, there's nobody here to keep me from doing stupid things. And there's nobody here to rescue me in the event that my stupid decisions result in my demise. So, yeah, it's a little scary.
Well, I don't know that you're going to, I mean, who knows? You may yet make some dumb decisions, but so far you've been performing pretty remarkably.
I mean, sure, but there's always the possibility of me really doing something foolish or overlooking something that's, pretty obvious, and also just the dice being uncooperative. These things happen.
They do. The dice can be very uncooperative, but last session, the dice were very, very good to you.
The dice were actually not bad. I wasn't actually rolling excellently. They were just, most of my rolls were kind of mid. It's just, they were generally good enough because we were rolling in categories where I have strengths.
Okay. Yeah, because you solved the desk puzzle box sort of thing, which was really difficult, like intentionally difficult.
Yes, but I have a +10 in that category.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's what made the big difference there.
That's good.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if we had been doing, if it had been a linguistic puzzle,
okay,
it would have been unsolvable for me.
All right. Well, I'm sure I've got one of those cooking up for you. As we continue on the larger puzzle of solving the mystery of Nbod's room.
Nbod. All right. So
where we ended, you were taking a bath.
I was
in this really nice copper tub, enjoying the warmth, really soothing the soul.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So at some point, I suppose Jeannie's going to have to accept that she's been in the bath long enough.
You got the little shriveled Jeannie toes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, just contemplating next moves, and has to get out and dry off and get dressed again and all that good stuff.
Okay, so yeah, we'll say I don't know how long you would imagine a good long bath is, but
well, it can't actually be too long, because once the water starts getting cold, it's like ugh, and that's it.
I wonder, do copper tubs hold heat longer? Or do they disperse heat? Because they're good conductors.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that answer.
Is there a drain in this tub?
I mean, there must be.
Nobody has to
come.
Yeah.
There's
okay.
There's
Nobody
drain.
has to come and like scoop it out, carry it to the window and like toss it over.
Yeah, we'll say this is fancy.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty fancy.
Cool.
So, yeah, you can drain the water and all the suds, get dried off and dressed. We'll just say at that point it's like 4 p.m.
Oh. I feel like that's a time jump, but okay.
You think so?
I don't remember.
I thought we were saying it was already like after 3.
Speaking of forgetting things, you owe me some coins.
Uh-oh. Oh, experience.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know. Well, you did do a pretty bang-up job solving that puzzle. So I'll tell you what. We'll do the royal for the episode, and I'm going to toss in 2 crowns here. So that's a lot. But you did very, very,
all right,
very good. So
I would like to, Gain a level at some point.
And to anybody who happens to be joining us in this adventure, we track the experience using actual metal coin props and little coin bags. And then the characters get to purchase their levels once they have enough. So even though this is sort of an interim preseason show, Jeannie is actually earning experience. So
In the new system.
Right, yes.
Which I have no idea what it's going to be like to gain a level in. So.
Oh yeah, it's super exciting.
I'm like, that was my stunned silence. I'm speechless.
It's I mean, it is pretty cool. You do keep getting new things, but this game is very front loaded. And that, to me, that was a design decision, is that first level characters, I think, in my opinion, don't suck. They step onto the stage, they've completed all of their primary training, and they are skilled professionals. They're not maybe heroes yet, but they can get the job done.
Yeah, I'm not just fumbling around in the dark.
No, you're not. But that does mean that, yeah, levels may come faster, but they're not as big as jumps. It's very, very, it's a slow climb.
Yeah, the slow burn.
But that does mean, yeah, right out of the gate. Yeah, you taking that was actually some of the feedback from our group. Even Thad is playing. He was playing an armsman, and he's like, I really feel OP for first level. I'm like, well, it's front loaded. Yeah, you're tough. But you're not going to get a lot tougher. So
enjoy it now.
Enjoy it now, because that's what you get. Anyway.
Okay, so I'm out of the tub, and you know what? Before it gets too much later, I do want to head out, and I'm going to go look. I want to look at the ship in the light.
Oh, okay. You want to go down to the port?
Yeah. I do.
Okay. Great. I don't know why I wasn't ready for that, but that's amazing. Perfect. Okay.
Oh.
No, we're doing it. We're doing it, because
Okay.
that's what we do. I do not force my players to go in any particular direction. Okay. So yeah, you suit up and lock up behind you, presumably.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Then yeah, you make your way out of the inn. You see the various people doing their jobs.
I wave, have a jaunty whistle.
Yeah, and you pass down the. There's a few more people in the tavern area, but again, still not super crowded, and no sign of Judith. And you catch a glimpse of Mola, and she's got like a stack of towels, and she's bustling around. But other than that, yeah, you head out into the street. Let me throw the old map here of Kingsbridge. I don't have a specifically a up close map of.
There's not a ship ready for me?
I don't know why. I don't know why I wasn't thinking about that. I probably have a ship map I could throw up though.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I have ship maps.
Well, this is very interesting, because that's kind of Jeannie's plan. I was going to explore it, see if I could sneak onto the ship and explore it, and see if I could find any hints as to what happened to Nbod.
Okay. We'll tell you what. Just give me like 2 minutes. I'll get you a ship map. Okay. A few short minutes later.
Yes. That's exactly it. A few short minutes later, here we are.
Here we are. I've attempted to cobble together a dock area of the map. So you traveled, but basically it's not that far. I should have actually showed you where you were on the map, because I mentioned that you
I
were
looked at it. I saw
like 4 or 5 blocks from the
Yep.
dock. So the southeast section of the city, yeah, it is a whole dock, like expanse, like it's huge, and it covers multiple blocks. And there's the warehouse districts and shopping districts, and there's a shipyard. And on the far east side, and this may be relevant at some point, the flat area of the city it hits elevation, because basically the east side of the city sort of starts climbing up a hill, building up the side of a hill, up to where this sort of terminates, and then it turns into like rocky cliffs going east of the city.
Okay.
But just before that, where the kind of the dock's petering out, there's a spot where it's almost like an older like abandoned shipyard. Not abandoned, but basically it's where some ships have gone that maybe need repair or have been, in this case, deposited. So you wanted to specifically look at the ship, but was there something else you wanted to do besides just figure out where the ship was? I mean, you had to obviously identify where the ship was and what the ship name was, that type of thing.
Correct.
Okay. So I will assume that you go down to an office area where they keep like the ship registries, the port. There's a name for that.
Harbor master?
The harbor. I think that's it. We'll go with that. The harbor master. So you kind of wander around, probably ask a few directions, and because it's getting towards the end of the day, and you find the harbor master's office, and where, there's lots of people, workers going in and out, and make your way in there to do some inquiries. Now, do you want to do that interaction, or you want to just like?
Oh, if we can just bypass that interaction, sure, we'll bypass that interaction.
I think you wanted to jump to exploring the ship. So you stop at the harbor master, make some inquiries where there's like, busy older gentleman bustling about, and you're looking to see what ships this Captain Nbod owned. And he seemed a bit put off at first and was obviously a busy guy trying to wrap his day up, and maybe you slipped him some coin or put on some charm. And so he paused long enough to go and grab the ship, one of the registry books, and opened it up. He's like, oh, yeah, I know Nbod. Flipped a few pages, and it's like, the last ship he had on file was the Maybell.
The Maybell?
Maybell.
Is that one word?
One word. Maybelle. Maybell.
Oh. Was that named after a person?
He looked briefly thoughtful and said, maybe maybe I think his daughter or something. I'm not sure. It's been a while. We weren't close.
Interesting. Thank you very much.
You're going to find that it gives you the directions, basically the edge of the dock area. It's going to be, it's been dry docked. He hasn't paid his fees and it's months overdue. Likely going to be sold at auction if it's not taken care of in the next month or two.
Oh, good to know. Thank you.
All right. And he just quickly slaps the book shut, throws it back on the shelf, and moves on to the next person he needs to help. And you slip out and make your way down there.
Yes, I do.
Okay. There are plenty of sights and sounds at the harbor. I don't know how much time you would have spent at a harbor, but the scent of the sea and the fish in the air, and fishing is a big business here. So all like fishermen are bringing in their catch for the day, and you see them out cleaning the fish on the wharf. And yes, lots of aromas, pleasant and or otherwise. Lots of activity as you kind of meander your way through the busy district farther towards the end. And as you get, leaving the crowds, it gets quieter and a little sketchier. The smaller warehouses over here, some of them are looking a little more run down. And there's a shipyard here that doesn't look like it's like there's no ships actively being worked on here, but basically it's where they can bring a ship up and dry dock it. And so that's got some docks and the large like flat area and chains and cranks and things like that where they can just hoist the ship up. And there is a pretty large ship there, dry docked right now. So it's kind of like taking up the space. There's no room to bring any other ships in there. And then beyond that area, you might call it like a little ship graveyard. It's like where ships have obviously they're being decommissioned or broken down. They look beyond repair. So there's probably like half a dozen other much smaller ships, but just all in various states of disrepair. That area is actually fenced off, and the ship sitting there in the dry dock is accessible, but obviously it's on, big beams, and it's pretty tall. It looks like it might be like maybe 3 decks. You do see a rope ladder on one of the sides though, and glancing around, you don't see any workers right around this area right now.
Okay. And just to be clear, I did bring the dagger that I found with me.
Okay.
Well, then I will attempt to climb the ladder and get onto the ship, hopefully without being noticed.
Okay. Well, that's the key. Not being noticed. Sure. You look around. You think you see a pretty safe opening. That the nearest like workers are probably 50 yards away. They're doing some work and loading some things at a nearby warehouse. But there is an office here. But you don't hear anybody working in it. So you move across the work area. You can hear the wood's kind of slapping on the wood planks and creaks of like a loading crane there, sort of swinging in the breeze, and reach the ladder, looking around, and you're going to just quickly climb up the ladder.
Yes.
Okay, it's a pretty simple climb, but go ahead and give me a simple climb check because it's it is a ladder braced against a solid surface, but.
Okay, so I do not have a rank in climbing.
Athletics, right?
Correct.
You don't have any rank. You don't have any athletic skill.
I don't have the X in the athletics box. I mean, I have 2 ranks in athletics, but I don't have the big X or the check.
Okay, so the recap. So the big X is that just means those are your class skills. That's just like a marker.
Okay.
So it's not a class skill for you, but you have skill in it. So then you just
a straight roll then.
It's just a straight roll. If you had the climbing proficiency, you could roll with a bonus edge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an 11. I rolled a 7, and I've got a total of 4.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
It's not super difficult, but clearly the opportunity for failure is present with you.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Like last time, my rolls actually have not been stellar. It's just like I have really high like bonus in the subterfuge category. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So you climb up the side of the ship. The ship itself is pretty smooth. It looks like it had maybe they cleaned it or it was in for repair. So it's not like covered in barnacles or anything.
Okay.
It definitely looks weathered and probably does need some maintenance, but there's no visible damage to the ship.
Okay.
Just kind of give you a sense of it. So what you're going to do here, you can see I've presented a stacked version of the ship. So you'll be climbing up onto the top deck and coming up like right here onto the deck.
Okay.
So you pull yourself up over the rails, maybe not easily, but you weren't in any particular danger. You kind of just hear that like the ship's not moving at all, but it's just kind of some creaking as you step onto the deck, just even from your weight. The sails have all been stowed away, so there's no sails here. It is a 3-masted ship, and I mean, just so you can kind of see, it's like 35 foot wide, and I think it's like 130 foot long. So, it's decent sized. So you're you pull yourself onto the main deck. There's some narrow wooden stairs leading up to the forecastle and some other stairs leading up to the aft. There's on the main deck, there's a pretty dilapidated looking like rowboat. It's like a 15-foot boat. So it's obviously pretty heavy, but it's just sitting there.
Is it upside down, right side up? How is it positioned?
As depicted on this map, it is right side up. I'm not sure if it's probably right side up and tarped.
Okay. So I actually would just like to go to the bow of the ship first and check out the figurehead.
Okay. You make your way up to the bow. Yeah, again, some gentle creaking as you do. And it's kind of hard to see. I mean, that probably would have been maybe better to look out, but you lean out over the bow, and it does not have a fancy, like elaborately carved figurehead. It's just a.
Oh.
I know.
Well, how disappointing is that?
Sorry. Sure, one could be embellished.
Well, I guess I was just figuring, since it was called the Maybell. You said Maybell. Yeah.
I'm pronouncing it Maybell.
Okay.
Because of the 2 L's.
Okay. That it might have, a woman as the figurehead or something, but no, it's just some kind of curl.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's probably some artistry to it, but it's not a figure.
All right. Well, disappointed.
Sorry.
All right. So I'm disappointed. Is there anything up here on the bow that is interesting, or is it just kind of nothing really there anymore?
There's nothing really interesting there. I think there's maybe a bundle of ropes that were left behind. It's not like, kind of glancing around, you wouldn't say that it was scoured cleaned, but whoever were the last people to leave probably grabbed anything that they thought might be useful. So yeah, it's just it's pretty barren, really.
Okay. Well, then I will go ahead and walk the length of the ship, all the way down to the stern deck and just see if there's anything interesting out of the ordinary that catches my eye.
All right. Give me a perception check.
And that is with a bonus edge. So that is a 15 on the die plus 8, so 23.
So I apologize. That actually would not be with a bonus edge.
Oh, no?
No. Because you're not doing one of the specific skills.
Oh, it's just the general? Okay,
Yeah.
So then that's a 19.
Okay.
If I go with the lower of the two, it's just a 19. Because I rolled 2 dice, I got a 15 and a 11. So if I just take the lower one.
Okay. Or you could reroll if you want, but.
Nope, I'll go with the 11.
Okay. Looking around for any details that might intrigue you. I will say you do notice that on the deck, even though it looks like it was cleaned at some point, there are like blood stains that are like in the wood grain. Like it got bloody and then cleaned, and some things just never came out. It's kind of scattered around. Like there was probably at some point some action on this deck, and you do kind of notice us like really kind of studying the railing and maybe the mast. There's gouges and things here and there that definitely look like errant weapons. So you think at some point, I mean, maybe even on multiple occasions, that this crew was having a fight on this deck.
Okay.
Doesn't look anything recent though.
Okay. Anything else?
There is a small pile of rags that looks like they were left behind that are not, like they're just like a small pile of dirty rags there that seem slightly out of place.
Okay, well then I am going to take my normal dagger, not the fancy dagger I just found, my normal dagger, and I will just kind of gingerly like scatter them, pick them apart and see if there's something in them or I can identify like what they might be doing here.
They're covering a small pail, turns out, of looks like maybe some type of polish. And all the rags like are dirty from like somebody maybe like trying to polish the deck.
Okay, is the polish solid or is it like, what is like is it like a shoe polish, like where you have to like...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I smell the polish. What's it smell like?
It's obviously very, acrid and bitter, like a strong scent, but also like fresh.
Fresh.
I mean, you look at like the rags aren't wet, but they don't look like they're months old. They don't
look like they've been sitting out in the weather for a long time.
They do not. They look like very recently used.
Do I see where something might have been recently polished?
Well, sure. You kind of turn and look at the light and kind of like study the deck as it goes across, and it looks like, I mean, at least a third of the deck you can kind of see where somebody's been slowly working at it.
Okay. I mean, I guess if they are thinking about auctioning it, maybe somebody's putting in some work to get a better price for it. I don't know. I'm not going to try and read too much into it. All right. So I'll just kind of...
Okay.
I'm not going to steal a bucket of polish.
Okay. I wasn't expecting you to.
Well, if it's not nailed down.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and head down to the second deck. And let's see, I do have. Oh, no, apparently I did not write down that I have anything to light my way on this. Oh, no, there it is. I was like, I swear I had a torch. I do have a torch. Oh, thank goodness. I do have a torch. So if it's dark, I will light the torch.
Okay. So if you're wanting to go down into the deck, then that's where you would go, yeah. And then you would actually...
Oh, I see.
And then, so you would kind of like go in. Here, I'll move your pawn real quick. You would go in the door there and then come down there. This is riveting. Okay. So if you descend down to the inside, that's what you're wanting to do?
I disagree with your interpretation, but I will respect your decision.
Well, which part are you trying to go into?
I am trying to go to this level of the ship because I forgot that I had not gone in here yet.
Okay, then that's fine. Then you would just go through that one door there. All right.
So, but let's go ahead and do this. Let's go in here.
Okay. So you're basically still on the main deck.
Yes, just going into
what I believe is called the forecastle. Great. So just as a point, it looks like it is lockable, but it is not locked.
Okay.
So you open the door, creaks a little bit, and peer into the gloom. There's enough light now, and then it's still daylight enough, even though it's getting late in the afternoon, that it illuminates enough of that room. It's like basically only it goes like 20 feet into the prow there, and it looks like this is some storage. You see, there's like a couple pile of crates in here.
Okay.
And you do smell. You smell a little bit of maybe some rotting food.
Oh, seems like that should have been dealt with. Well, I will, as quickly as possible, just open the crates and peer inside.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you very quickly start going through them. There are some supplies. There's a crate with some tarps, and I imagine you also find the cells. That's probably taking up half of this. But one of the crates did have what looks like it might have been some potatoes, and then there's maybe some other foodstuffs in there that have pretty thoroughly rotted.
Okay, but nothing interesting.
Specifically valuable. I mean, crucial to the ship.
Or
nothing that points to a mystery.
Yeah.
Okay. So nothing in there.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to go to the stern, and same thing. I don't know what you call it. The area, is it the area under? What do you call the area underneath the quarterdeck? Whatever that is, just go there. I'm going there.
See, I actually love ships, but I don't always remember all the terminology. I think it is the stern castle or aft castle.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Which is or the poop deck.
Well, okay. I don't want to this. I feel like this sounds really boring to talk about, but the poop deck is like the deck.
The deck above it. Yeah.
Above it.
Yeah.
Right.
So the stern castle. That's where usually the captain's quarters are.
Okay. Well, I'm going in there then.
All right. So.
Is it indeed the captain's quarters?
Well, you will be delayed in finding out because this door is locked.
All right. What's the lock look like? I have my room key. Does the room key fit?
The room key does not fit.
Okay.
It's not embellished, if that's what you're asking.
Looks like a standard lock.
It does. I mean, it looks decent quality.
Okay.
It's hard to tell if it's going to be a crazy puzzle lock, but go ahead.
All right. Well, I will go ahead and attempt to pick this lock. I think I'm going to try these 2 dice.
I see that.
Okay.
I see you rolled a natural. You rolled a natural 20.
It's like one of the few dice that's easy to read the number on, but it's right there. Okay.
Right.
Yes. Yay.
Critical success. Okay. So it is what is your total?
30.
And so this is a difficulty 20, complexity 1 lock. So it's a good lock, but it's not a great lock. All right, so it still takes you a few moments to get it clicked open, hear the tumbler turn, and you can swing the door open.
I swing the door open, and inside I find the captain's bones. No, what is it?
Well, you see, actually, it's a nice room, but not lavish. It is filled up with some high quality furniture. You see at the back of the room, because there actually are some large glass windows that face aft of the ship, where there's it's a big bed, but it doesn't have the big crazy 4 posters, but it still looks like a nice big teakwood bed attached to the floor. And then there's a table with 4 chairs and a big sea chest and another desk. Couple of things. It looks like it had been rifled through.
Oh.
So while all the stuff is here, it is left in a mess. And the bed looks like tousled, like it's been like used. And there's kind of an odor in the room. And give me an alertness check. So that is perception with I think you have alertness.
I do indeed have alertness.
So you can make it with a bonus edge.
That is a 22.
That's very good. Okay. Yeah, your guys are kind of adjusting to the slightly dim light, looking around, taking it all in. You heard the creak of the plank just in time as you see a small figure lunging at you.
Oh.
And it had been kind of apparently hiding under the desk. And when you crept in, it was sort of pressed against the wall. It is a somewhat small statured, maybe like 4 foot tall goblin, green colored, pointy ears. And it's holding a dagger, and it basically just sort of shouts at you, "The thief, thief," and lunges at you with his dagger. So roll initiative.
Okay. That is a 12 plus 8. Oh, I'm like, where's the, so 20.
20. That's pretty good. It is not, in fact, good enough. I got a 21.
I'm going to kick you. Because I'm going to do initiative outside of the game. Kick you.
So this little goblin, he's not even well dressed. He's like wearing like a rough, almost sack looking shirt. You realize where the odor came from because it definitely has been radiating off of him. But he lunges at you with his dagger and is going to try to poke you with it. Oh, that's pretty good. 16 on the die. That is going to be a 21 to hit you. What is your DB?
20.
Oh, wow. Just barely. Okay. That is 3 points of damage. And that's going to be against your chest armor.
Which is a 3.
Which is a 3. So slashes at your chest, or maybe trying to hit you in your abdomen to disembowel you, putting a nice crease across it. But your armor absorbs the blow, and he will actually immediately try to stab you again. Oh, and that is less good. So he kind of slightly goes off balance, and the next slash goes a little wide, and he looks at you with his kind of feral mouth, and almost looks like he wants to bite you. What do? Your turn.
So I will turn some facing him, and I will say, I will draw my rapier and will say, "Not thief, investigator."
Okay. So give me an influence check. You're trying to like get him to stop, I guess.
Yes, because I don't want to just kill him. I want to find out who he is and what's he doing here and what's the story, smelly goblin. So you said, is this diplomacy?
No,
Oh.
I think just to be, well, you know what? Sure. We'll go diplomacy.
It's only a 13. I rolled 2 5s.
Okay. That apparently you were not convincing enough yet. You did not successfully change his demeanor. Do you want to do anything else?
So, and this is where my combat understanding is challenging because I would like to, I guess, get ready to dodge, or like I don't want to actually attack him. I just want to like lessen his ability to hit me.
Okay. So because he went first, he used both his actions to all out attack you instead of saving anything to defend. So he was done. You drew your weapon. You have quick draw though.
I do.
So that didn't use an action. So you had 2 actions, and you basically attempted to do diplomacy to get him to stop.
Yes.
So then we would just actually roll initiative again.
Okay.
And he's like, liar, liar, you're here for the captain's treasures.
17.
Okay. So you have initiative.
Okay.
So if you want to reserve, like this is a case, like if you're like, oh, I want to attack, but I want to save an action to parry or dodge, that is what you would do.
Okay. So I am going to save an action, and I'm going to say, I am trying to find out where your captain is. And I will actually just, close the door.
Okay. So you say that, shut the door behind you.
Yes.
And give me another influence check.
Okay, that's better. So that is a 12 on the die, and that is a 20.
Wow, nice. Okay. All right, so your words reach him this time. So he pauses in his stabbing. And because you're just a little bit taller than him. So it's like the two of you sort of squared off, and as you close the door, that dims the light considerably in here, which perhaps he appreciates that. But standing there like face to face with this goblin in the gloom, you can see his eyes kind of like twitch back and forth, and he readies himself almost like on the balls of the feet to be defensive against you. And like, what do you know of the captain?
I know he's been missing for quite some time, and they're threatening to sell the ship off.
All right. He looks extremely wary. He's actually going to take a step. He's going to do technically disengage, but he's going to step back just to get a little space between the two of you. I've heard so much of that. Why do you care?
That is a great question. I'm still trying to figure that out.
You don't make a lot of sense.
My motives are a mystery at this point. I'm just trying to survive. I don't know. Man.
So you are not here to steal?
I am looking for clues. Nobody seems to have any idea what happened to Captain Nbod. I thought maybe I could find some kind of direction or something that would tell me where to look by coming and exploring the ship.
I do not know of any clues here. I have been here the whole time since he's left.
Who are you to Captain Nbod?
I am Squee, the ship's goblin.
Okay, is that a thing?
It is a thing.
Okay. Is this a thing that Jeannie knows about?
Make a general knowledge check.
General knowledge. Oh yeah, apparently I totally know about this because I got a 21. So, of course, I don't know why it didn't come to me right away. The ship's goblin that every ship has for good luck.
Well, it is a little piece of lore.
Okay.
So goblins are largely abhorred.
Mm-hmm.
And like people sort of look at them as like the uncivilized goblins, which are the ones that will probably, raid farms and cause problems. But there are some goblins that have sort of found a niche in society. And that actually largely happened after the plague, where due to their high resistance to disease, they actually sort of found a way in as rat catchers.
Oh, I see.
And they sort of like were these plague goblins. And so some of them, a lot of them were exiles from their own tribes or for whatever reasons, managed to sort of come in and find these jobs. And so after the plague, that became kind of a thing where it's like, yeah, they're very good at hunting rats and other plague carriers. And
So instead of a ship cat, they've got ship goblins. Is that kind of what we got here?
that exactly.
I see. Oh,
Yeah.
I'd rather have a cat. Okay, but I won't say that out loud. All right.
It's not like every ship has one,
Okay.
but it is because many people find them very distasteful.
Well, apparently they're kind of smelly.
And the other job, like they also found other ways to like do dirty jobs, like sewer cleaners, and so they're still very much looked down on. You're not going to really see them just wandering the streets. They stay out of sight. They do the jobs people don't want to do.
Well, now I just feel sad. Okay.
So clearly this guy had a ship's goblin who was left behind.
So you've just been here by yourself for this whole time?
Yes.
That-
All the crew left.
That doesn't seem great.
I have I have to scour for food because there are no more rats.
Yeah. And because the ship is dry docked, there's probably not many rats that can make their way. Well, I mean, I guess they could, but there's not much to entice them up here anymore, I guess.
No, there's no more food in the stores.
Well, there's some. It's just rotting. I just went over there and saw it.
Oh, yes, that. I have not cleaned that.
Oh, are you going to clean that?
I thought perhaps I would eat it at some point.
Oh. Are you the one that's polishing the deck?
Yes.
Oh, you've been doing some good work up there.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah. Has he put his weapon down?
He's not put it away, but he's no longer threatening you with it. It's like, so yeah, he's like sort of subconsciously lowered it down to his side.
Okay, I will put my rapier away. I will resheath it.
Okay. He sees you do that, and he will go ahead and sheath his dagger too.
Okay. Is there a chair for me to sit in?
Yeah, there's several chairs.
I'm gonna go over and sit in a chair.
Okay. He looks around, kind of uncomfortable, and okay, and he will go and get into a chair.
Okay. So when was the last time you saw the captain?
It has been many months. I think 6 months. We were docked, and he doesn't tell me things, but I listen. Most of the crew were going to have a shore leave, but I know that he was going to go looking for something.
Do you have any idea what he was going to go looking for?
He'd been arguing with the first mate, Zune, and was talking about getting a dagger.
Oh, a dagger? Well, there's lots of daggers. Daggers are pretty easy to find.
Apparently a special dagger. Something to deal with the tentacled monster.
Oh. Did the tentacled monster have a name?
I don't know. I guess you'd have to talk to it.
Oh, to find out its name?
Do monsters have names?
Well, I didn't know if they were calling the tentacled monster anything like, giant squid or...
Oh. I think it's a kraken.
A kraken, thank you. That's exactly what I was wondering. And what was the first mate's name?
Zune Quag.
Zune what? Quag?
Yes.
Hmm. Do you like Zune?
No, he would kick me.
Yeah, Zune kind of just, that name doesn't sound very nice. I gotta be honest. Did I tell you my name?
No.
I'm Jeannie.
Hello, Jeannie.
Nice to meet you, Squee. Okay. So the captain was going looking for a special dagger to deal with a kraken and then never came back.
Right. Zune came back. He looked through everything. I stayed out of sight.
Is Zune the one who made this mess in here?
He looks around sheepishly. Most of it. I've been living here.
Well, you had to live somewhere.
Well, I normally live at the bottom of the ship, but when everybody was gone, I came here. The captain's going to be so mad.
Squee, I hate to tell you this. I don't know that the captain will ever come back. I'm kind of worried.
Do you think something happened to him?
I think so. That's what I'm trying to find out, though.
Can I help?
I would love to have your help. I tell you what, let's see if we can kind of pick up some of this mess and see if there's any clues that might be in here.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to start just picking up stuff, see if what's on the floor that might, are there documents, or there what? Oh, wait, first, do those windows open at all?
Yes.
Let's open those windows a little and get some fresh air in here for you.
Okay. So between the two of you can get them unlatched and assume that they swing open.
Yeah, just get some,
He looks out and you can kind of see, it's not quite setting sun yet, but you can kind of look out because you got a straight shot view of the harbor and you can see probably the last ships of the day are making their way in.
Is there a lantern in here?
Yeah, there would definitely be a lantern in here.
Okay. Well, we'll light the lantern and
yeah, you look and there's like very little oil left though.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, there's a little bit.
And I'll ask, then maybe Squee knows where there's some more oil.
Oh, yes. I think there's some in the hold.
Okay, I promise I will not take anything if you would go get some more oil.
Okay.
And I will be here when you get back.
All right. He will, still looking a little bit nervous, but he will quickly slip out and you hear him scampering around down the deck.
Okay. While he's gone, though, I'm going to check that trunk to see if it's locked.
No, it's not locked. You can see that it was locked, but somebody broke the lock.
It. Okay. Then I'm just going to keep picking things up off the floor, trying to make some piles and to go through.
Okay. Yeah, there's some scattered papers. Do you look in the trunk?
No, I'm going to wait till he gets back and then I'll look in the trunk. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you start tidying up, gathering things together, and it's a few minutes later before he comes back with a small jug of oil.
Perfect. Thank you. Good job.
All right. So yeah, you can kind of carefully refill the lantern and get that lit in here.
All right. So I start going through stuff. Is there anything interesting or noteworthy that has been scattered about?
You start going through. There's a couple more sea charts. Still nothing to indicate. There's some different charts, but still nothing in here that would tell you where that atoll was. And a few more books. Not like a ton of books though. That maybe like half a dozen different books on sailing and some general information. But yeah, there's nothing really interesting or incriminating. And so Squee's kind of watching you do all this. And so what are you looking for?
I'm not 100% sure. I'm just looking for something that might give me a clue about something called Moon Isle, or something about the dagger that he might have been looking for, or something about the Kraken.
Maybe it's in his journal.
Oh, do you know where he kept his journal?
I hid it.
That was very smart of you.
I think Zune was looking for it.
That might be a great place that has some clues. Would you get the journal?
Mm. He nods, and he actually is going to go over and uh, behind the desk. He like, because the desk is stuck to the floor.
Yeah.
But he kind of pulls it a little bit and wiggles some, and then he reaches his little hand in the crevice behind the wooden frame of the desk and the outside of the ship, and squeezes and pulls and finally slides out a leather-bound journal.
Oh, wonderful. All right. Well, I'll hold up my hand and see if he'll hand it to me.
Yeah, he'll gingerly hand it to you.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to start leafing through it till I can find the most recent entries and kind of read backwards from there.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of material, and you can kind of read through probably for the next hour if you want, but you do begin to learn a few things. You see that Nbod was a bit of an adventurer. He was not a pirate, but he's done some privateering.
Okay. Which would explain the bloodstains and fighting.
Yep. And there's information about his crew and ships and how much he really loves his ships. But what you're looking for is he talks a lot about his first ship, the Grindstaff, and how it was wrecked, and how he's wanted to recover some of the lost treasure on that ship. But unfortunately, when he went back to get it, there was a crack in there that was causing them problems. So he talks about stowing away some of the treasure on an island and still wanting to be able to find a way to recover the rest, and that he'd heard about a magic dagger that could probably help him kill this thing. But it belonged to a local temple, and he was trying to figure out how to basically steal it from the temple.
Oh, does he describe the dagger?
No, he doesn't give a written description, but you feel pretty good about connecting those two dots.
Okay. But that still seems very mysterious, because he had the dagger in his possession, unless he didn't know how to open the puzzle desk himself.
I think it's reasonable for you to assume the desk is his.
Okay.
So clearly he acquired the dagger, and that was probably the safest place he had to put it.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So he has the dagger, but then somehow he got killed when he was going to go get the dagger. It does not mention the desk in this journal anywhere.
It does not.
Okay. And it doesn't give any further clues about where this Kraken is.
No. I mean, it talks about the atoll and the wreck, and there's not a lot going back. So maybe he had a previous journal that maybe talked about that, but there's some allusions to that being like a personal tragedy and having lost quite a few people on that and getting back from it. So yeah, wherever this is, that's obviously where the wreck of his first ship is. And yeah, some valuables that he's hoping to recover.
So, okay. So Squee, how long were you with Captain Nbod?
He, some years. He hired me on when he got this ship.
Okay. Do you know where the Kraken is?
I know that they talked about it. It's some island someplace, but he did not take us there.
Okay. And never really explained where it was or how far away or what direction?
No. I know he would go there sometimes because I heard him talking, and it's very, very secret about special ways to go there.
Oh. Is there another journal?
Not here, not that I know of.
Okay. So I'm going to also... So, Squee, do you know what happened to the first mate? Like where he might be now?
I have not seen him. He's not been here. Although he did come back and look through the ship one more time a month ago.
Oh, where did he look then?
He just looked all over again. He was being very careful, and he had I think must have been some sort of magic stick.
A magic stick.
He was pointing it everywhere. I watched him very, very quietly, but I think he was trying to find something with it.
Mm,
He was getting angrier and angrier.
that's probably good. Okay. I'm going to hand him back the journal and say, Squeeby, you should probably hide this again.
He will kind of clutch it to his chest. I will.
Okay. Should we look in the trunk? Is there anything in the trunk that might be helpful?
It's his clothes. A lot of clothes.
All right.
You can look through it.
Okay. I think I will. I'll go ahead and open the trunk, and I'm going to just do a check for any hidden compartments.
Okay. Sure. So you basically pull things out and look through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me a perception check.
Just straight perception.
Yes.
Okay. That's a 14 plus an 8, so 21. Oh, 22. Sorry.
Okay.
Math rocks.
Math rocks. All right. You kind of check through the bottom of the chest there, and you find a little latch.
I work the latch.
Yeah, it's kind of effortless as you just kind of give it a little. I mean, it's maybe a little stuck, but whoever did the work for him, if it was the same person, was definitely skilled. So
I wish they had a card in here.
a little business card.
Yeah.
Okay, you work the little latch, and yeah, you realize that it's actually a pretty large compartment at the bottom of the chest as you pry it open, and there are some things inside, which you kind of immediately see in the lantern light. You see there's a compass, like a nice looking compass. There's a bronze sextant. There's a pair of torches. There's a shovel. And then there's a small wooden, like a really small wooden box, like maybe like 3 inches by 2 inches. Like it's just a little wooden box with hinges. And it's not locked. It has a little latch, but it's not locked.
I palm the box.
Okay.
And then I say, I feel really bad, but I'm going to do it anyway. I palm the box and I say, Squee, come look at this.
He will bend over and kind of look into the bottom of the chest that you're kind of illuminating with a lantern light and look with some surprise. Like, wow, I didn't know that was there.
It's amazing, isn't it? And as he's looking, I'm going to put the box in my bag.
Okay.
And I'm like, why do you think all this was hidden in here?
I don't know.
Should we pull it out?
Yes.
Okay. So
you take it all out and put it on the table.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, yeah, it's an odd little collection of things. You look at it and nothing there tells you, oh, this is super secret stuff.
So, I mean, it looks like just a nice compass, a nice sextant, a nice shovel. And what else was it?
And 2 torches.
2 torches.
And the little box.
And the torches are just like normal torches?
They're just normal torches. This is a crazy little captain's go bag.
Huh. What do you think this is all about?
He shrugs. I don't know. I don't know why I was hiding it.
I mean, you're a sailor. I'm really not. Do you see anything unusual about any of this?
When you say you're a sailor, he kind of like, I don't know, he'll puff up a little bit. Because he most certainly is not a sailor. But
more than I am.
I mean, he looks it over and kind of looks at the compass, and I don't know, he'll start like trying to like, well, it's a nice compass. I never got to use a compass before. And kind of like he starts playing with it and turning around in his hands. Oh, I don't know. And I'll hand it back to you.
Okay, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna turn it over. I'm gonna look if there's any writing on it. Is it engraved or?
It is engraved.
Okay.
And yeah, it basically says, "For my father, may you always find your way back home." And it's engraved, Maybell.
Oh, well, that sucks.
And give me a perception check.
So that's a 13. So that's a 21.
Okay. You'll also notice there's a tiny little lever on the back.
Oh my gosh, these people. Okay. Okay.
Puzzles within puzzles.
Okay. So I'm not going to do anything with that lever yet. I'm going to say, Squee, it has an inscription. Did you know that Captain Nbod had a child?
No.
Yeah. And I'll read the inscription to him.
His eyes will go wide. I didn't know. He didn't ever tell me.
Wow.
He didn't tell me much, though. But I was always fed, and he didn't ever kick me.
That is very nice. I'm going to ask you a big favor.
What's that?
I would like to take this with me to see if I can find out any more about it.
Give me a diplomacy check.
I don't know what my deal is. When I roll 2 dice, I'm frequently rolling the same number on both dice. Because I just rolled 2 dice and they both have 13s.
Okay. Still no special benefit, though.
What do you mean?
That was...
Oh, yes, I don't get to, so it's not a 26 is what you're saying.
Right.
So, but it is what?
That's funny. If you roll the same number, you just add them.
I think that's brilliant. Like no other gaming system does that. Come on now. Come on. Okay. Anyway, that's a 21.
Okay. You seem very nice, and I think if you can help the captain, you can take it.
I don't know if I can help the captain, but at least maybe I can get an answer.
Okay.
I have another question for you, Squee.
What's that?
How committed are you to life at sea? Why are you laughing?
I don't know. I'm trying to get into his head. What do you mean?
Well, have you ever thought about another line of work?
I have not yet, but if they sell the ship, I don't know if the new captain will want me.
Well, I mean, would you like to go on a little adventure with me after we're done here tonight?
Maybe. Yes.
Okay. Well, let's finish up here.
Okay.
So, okay, I'll put the compass in my bag, and keep looking around. Haven't really checked out the bed. I'm going to go ahead and just, I know it doesn't have the big 4-poster or anything, but I'm going to look under it, kind of around, just see if there's anything else.
Okay. You can spend another 15, 20 minutes here, and you feel like you found this room's mystery.
Okay.
You have a mysterious goblin, a compass, the journal,
a box,
new clues.
Okay. And I'm gonna tell Squee. I'm gonna say, you know what, Squee? Let's not leave the journal here. Let's take it with us, just in case somebody comes back. You can hold it.
Okay. Are you asking him to come with you now? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Let me get a bag.
And I think we should also put you in a big old cloak.
A costume.
Yes. Costume.
All right. Well, he will fetch a tattered backpack and put some things into it, whatever he deems his personal effects, and stuff the journal in it. And that gives you the opportunity to find a baggy shirt or something, something out of the chest, maybe, or just something. I don't know what you had in mind.
I don't want people to see his head. I don't want people to be like goblin.
Okay. You find a decent quality, like a rain poncho.
Great.
All right. So it's definitely too big for him, but it kind of rubs the ground a little bit. But
then I'll belt it.
All right.
Even if it's just rope, we're gonna put a belt around it so it's not dragging the ground.
Okay. So you get this poncho on him, put it over his head and ears, pull it way down, and cinch it tight, and he looks like a little Jawa.
Perfect. Perfect. Exactly what I was going for.
All right. And then you put the backpack on his back and he's ready to go.
All right. Oh, I'm going to ask him though. I mean, is there anything else on the ship that you think might have a clue?
I don't know of anything else.
I mean, nowhere else that the captain did any business or kept anything important?
Oh, he did lots of business in the privy.
That's very funny. No, the writing and research kind of business.
No, he did not go below decks a lot.
Okay. All right. Then I think we're good. All right.
Okay, then, so what is your plan after you leave here?
Well, I guess I will take Squee back with me and he can help me with the rest of this experience then.
I mean, it wasn't something I had planned, but you promised an adventure to help him find his captain, so.
Okay. All right.
You didn't want to be alone.
That's not exactly what I meant, but okay. All right, Squee, I guess you're coming with me. I've got a nice copper tub for you to sleep in. I got to figure out how to smuggle him into the room, though. I'm not paying for an extra person.
You figure you can just go in a side door. You've got a key.
Okay.
So, yeah, using a little bit of stealth and shenanigans, you smuggle him upstairs because there's a side staircase outside, and go through the side door since you were aware of the fire escapes, and dodge the staff and sneak him into the room and lock the door and prepare for the night.
Great.
All right. So you're going to settle him into the tub.
Yes.
Make him a little bed, maybe some towels and whatever.
I guess I kind of figure it's more of a nest, but sure.
Yeah. He'll make a little nest in the tub. Yeah. He seems pretty happy with that. He'll settle in, and then, I mean, are you gonna just call it a night? What's your plan for the night?
How late is it?
Oh gosh, I mean, by that time it's probably 9:00.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it a night.
Okay. Then that's probably just about a good stopping point. So you call it a night, maybe do a little reading or whatever before bed, and you tuck in and drift off to sleep to see if any ghosts will present themselves.
Yes.
And they do.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens next time.
Okay. Sounds good.
We got there.
Okay.
All
Yay!
Right. All right. Well, great. You've you moved the story along, and look, you have an ally
of sorts.
Yeah, he might prove to be really loyal.
Yeah, maybe. I'm sure dragging a goblin along won't cause any problems at all.
Not at all. All right. Well, I can't wait to see what happens next time as you continue unraveling this mystery.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed our show and want more, please leave us a rating and review on whichever platform you use. And of course, feel free to share us on social media. We'll be back next week with more adventures in the World of Tellus. To tide you over, you can read more about the cast, characters, and the World of Tellus at AdventuresEdgeRPG.com.